Alright everyone, welcome back to your Bestiary guide for dragons for Brigandine, the Legend of Runersia. So I'm quite excited to do this one because dragons are always one of my favorite monsters in the game. I'm sure a lot of you also have that desire and all that. For the new game, I still like them, not as much as I used to. I like the snakes a little more just because they're a little more tanky. They can handle more and they kind of cost less, but dragons actually get a little bit of a buff in the new game, and they also get a little bit of a nerf compared to the original Grand Edition and Legend of Runersia. So before you get into this, I am your host, veracitytrigger. If you enjoy this kind of content, do what you can do to help the channel grow. That'd be awesome. Leave some likes and also leave some comments as to like what you'd like to see get improved, if it could get improved, or what is your favorite dragon and why. Tell me which dragons you go with for the most part, or if you choose something else, let me know. So in this game compared to the original, we have to go over a couple things. A lot of people were kind of upset with the fact the dragons lost the flying ability and kind of went more of a primordial ancient dragon, just like a big ground beast, more of a behemoth in a way, right? So yeah, that is definitely a thing, but they're still tanky, they're still quite powerful, and the other thing I think some people were upset about is they lost some mobility. They're not able to move as far as before. Now, preferably, I would think that dragons should be mountain preference because, you think about all the dragons in the mountains. I think that could be a change. I don't know if they'll ever change it, but the great thing about the dragons is that you actually get frost dragons here, as you can see on the screen down below. You get flame dragons, you get frost dragons. We'll go over this real fast. You get flame dragons, frost dragons, thunder dragons, holy dragons, and dark dragons. So I think this is all really, really cool, the fact that you can change all this. Now, the difference is as soon as you get the one item to class up into Ancient Dragon, you're automatically just a red tiered monster. And people didn't really like this, but there are ways around this. You can give them equipment that boost their attack with blue or green or white or black or whatever. You can give them other equipment to make them another kind of dragon. The only difference is that they're always going to look like very whitish, like egg whitish colors, and just like very beastly looking. But if we're going to talk about the dragon here, this is going to take me a little bit of time because I have to actually explain a couple things. There is an item to give to them to change them up to Ancient Dragon here. It is an item you can find by questing for it. You can randomly find it at a lot of different castles, so look up some guides for that to find out where to find this particular said item to upgrade them there. You have to use it. I want to say it's the Hellfire item. Off the top of my head, I don't know, I'm blanking out, sorry. But it is an item you have to quest for to find, to get it, in order to change up to Ancient Dragon. And it does cost 25 points to upgrade, as you can see from this. And it is a 25 point upgrade from Dragon to Dark Dragon, or Flame Dragon, or whatever. So I'm just saying, like, the Dragon classing up is a little bit harder. Breath attacks take a lot more MP. So, if you want to use a dragon, it's definitely an awesome tank, really. You can see the difference between the defense there. Just a natural Ancient Dragon has 135 defense, one of the best defenses you can get for a monster in this game. And as far as it's concerned, red is still quite a top priority element in this game, but the reason they did this, that I have to say that I believe that they did this for, is there's 3 tiers for the snake class, which is the tanky class you can get for blue elements, and there are 3 tiers for the mandrake class, which is the tankiest tank element you can get for green. So as far as going in a rock, paper, scissors order, it kind of balances things out, kind of makes sense. The dragon's going to be able to take down the mandrake can take down the Tiamat or the snake class, and the snake class can take down the dragon. So it's like, one can take down the other, can take down the other, can take down the other. And I know this goes around in a circle, kind of like a recycling circle, but I think that's why the developers did it this way. And to me, it kind of makes sense because it sort of kind of balances things out a little bit. Although I do miss the flying dragons, I have to say. I kind of wish they could make them fly again, you know? But anyways, let's get into this here. Let's talk about all this stuff here. So there's a lot to actually talk about. You're looking at this dragon, flame dragon, ancient dragon, frost dragon. So here's how it goes. You can, once you get to level 10, you can class a dragon into either a flame, frost, thunder, holy, or dark. But you cannot just jump up to ancient dragon. And as soon as you change into a dark dragon, as you can see, what I have right now is a dark dragon. I'm just looking at a class change. I cannot change into a holy dragon or a thunder or whatever. Once you choose your element, you are done. The only thing after that would be... oh, sorry. What am I saying? It is the Eternal Hellfire. Oh my gosh. Mind fart. But yeah, this is the item that you can get. It's an item you have to quest from for certain castles. If you see that little chalice there, when you're questing from a castle in a certain district within the castle, and you see that questing from that area could give you a chalice, it could very well be the Eternal Hellfire you could find going for those quests. Now, it's a hard quest to find because it's random, and it could take a while to get it, or you could get it the very next turn. It's all RNG. It is all RNG. If you have some higher knights, you know, level 10s to level 20s and plus, you might have a better chance of getting it. But it really is just RNG at the end of the day. So, if I want to class up, I can here. But as you can see, I cannot go to Holy Dragon. I'm stuck with Dark Dragon until I change to Ancient Dragon. And you can see that my orbs are going to change from 2 purples to 3 red orbs. So I'll automatically lose all the dark skills that I had and go right up to red. Now, if you equip gear, like I said, you can offset that. You can change it kind of back to the Dark Dragon, but the look will stay as this Ancient Dragon look, as you see there with the picture on my right. So this picture here, if I come up to here, there's another Ancient Dragon, looks exactly the same. All Ancient Dragons are look exactly the same, and they're all going to have triple red orbs for their natural offense and defense. So that's just something to denote. I know this took a little while to explain a couple of this, but I hope you kind of get the gist. Really comes down to, personally for me, I take the element that isn't going to be particularly weak and could be stronger than the force I'm going against when I choose one of these. That's typically what I do, for strategic purposes mostly. But let's check out the dragon, just the basic dragon here. Magic cost 75, basically the same as the original games right here. See hit points, the right hit points. These are the hit points here for a natural dragon of what this one would be right now. 645, 134 MP. Defense 115, 61 intelligence. Intelligence in this game, I want to say it's a little better for dragons. It could be. I'll have to look at that again. But you can see agility is about the same. Mobility is 4 though, so mobility is not that great. And the mobility stays the same thing when we get to this too. Does it really go up when we get to Ancient Dragon? No, it does not. But there is gear that can actually increase your mobility. There's 2 different kinds of gear. A claw and a piece of armor, I believe, that can increase your mobility, so you can make the dragon actually move 4 or 5 spaces, depending upon where or when you find this piece of gear. There's a lot of gear in this game. There's so much. I can't cover all of it in this one video, but I have covered it in some other previous videos. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, go check out some of my previous videos about gear, and I get into a lot of that there. But as far as the dragon goes, it's essentially, you know, if we look to here, we got Dragon Fury, which is the attack, Acid Breath. If you're new to the game Brigandine, this is the one game where dragons will literally barf on you. They will vomit all over you within a 3 hex radius, and it will be like acid. It's like acid from the Alien movie. The alien will spit acid all over the place. It'll slowly burn you, you know. So it's literally vomiting its innards all over you, and it only has so much magic to be able to do that. So you can only do it so many times, but it's one of the key It's one of the key things about Brigandine that makes these things so popular is the fact that you've got a line attack. You don't have to like fully attack all the time. You use their acid breath until it's done, and then you kind of go out and attack. Typically, that's kind of what you do. Magic, it's acid breaths count as skill. It's not counted as magic, so they don't really have any magic spells, and never really did. They never really will. No extra abilities, just full-on frontal attack, blah, acid breath all over you, and hurt you with it. So next up would either be Flame Dragon or Frost Dragon. I think for demonstration purposes, let's check out the Frost Dragon. It's one of my favorites here because it wasn't in the original game. The original game only had dragons turn into silver dragons or red dragons, which meant kind of holy and fiery or just complete fiery dragon. We never had a Frost Dragon. Thunder Dragons are pretty awesome too, but let's check out the Frost Dragon here. So we go up to 100 magic cost. That's how much it takes to actually fit it within your army when you look at the cost of how much you can actually put in your army there with all that. And they're quite heavy, very heavy, honestly, very heavy. And you can see hit points and strength are very, very high. So this is one of the basic main tanks that you talk about. This is one of the natural tanks. The snake is, you know, almost equal, maybe a little better than the dragon now in this game. In the previous game of Grand Edition, well, they were kind of equalized basically based upon a balance system, but the original game, the dragon was probably top tier, maybe. We get 139 attack here, whether we're Dark Dragon or Frost Dragon, so you're seeing this as a difference here. It's really no different which way we would grow it. So saying a Dark Dragon is better than a Frost Dragon is completely non-relevant and nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. It would be totally moot, and I would argue against it every time. It really depends on who you're fighting and how you handle its defense and how you keep it alive. Really, it would come down to that. You're not going to have really any... Not that I've seen growing these things so far. You're not going to have any serious difference with the Dragon class here. But anyways, pretty much the same stuff. You just choose your orbs that you want. You choose the color and style and stuff like that. So let's move on to the next page to see what the next thing up is here, because we got more stuff here. So we look at Carnal Fury or Glacial Fury. You know, depends on Dark Dragon or Frosty Dragon, right? Ice Breath or Dark Breath. So this one's a 4 hex straight line radius. So just instead of vomit this time, now you kind of, well, it's kind of vomiting in a way, but it's like a dark, evil breath attack, right? And this one's a frosty breath attack. So you're like exhaling all this frosty ice on the enemy. You actually see frosty ice go on them. If you get a fire dragon, then it's going to be flames. A thunder dragon, you're going to see electricity go out there. It's pretty cool. Holy dragon is like a holy laser or some kind, something of some such thing. Look, it's just make all the dragons and you'll have fun. It's awesome. So as what we said before, no magic, you know, no abilities, no extra abilities besides just breath attacks and tankiness. So all right, so let's go ahead and I'll back out 1 second. I'll show you something real fast here. I already have an ancient dragon here to compare to this. As you can see, if you want to just like pause the video sometimes and see the difference between the stuff here. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and class up this Dark Dragon so you can kind of see what it looks like when we do it. So you need the Eternal Hellfire. It's a special item you have to quest for. Sometimes in certain game modes you might just get this anyways, but for the most part you pretty much have to quest for it. And it's going to cost me 25 more points to fit it in my army. And when I'm talking about this, what I'm really saying here is that Rudo has a magic pool of 613. I fed him a lot of potions to get him up that high. I'll just tell you that right now. You can do this after you conquer the game. You have unlimited time to quest. And if you're smart about your questing and you know where to quest, you can also find power-up items very quickly too. But this basically says 225 if I class that up and I get 25 more points for the big guy here, this is going to turn into 250 out of 613. So let's go ahead and do that. This is just simple math here. If you're not very good with math, this is a great game. This will actually teach you a lot of math skills. You have to practice math in order to be good at math. That's my philosophy here. But let's go ahead and class this up here. So we're going to see the Dark Dragon turn into an Ancient Dragon. We lose the Dark Orbs, but we get a pretty cool looking monster here. That's pretty cool. And now we are at, what did I say? 250, right? Right? 250. Yep, that's what that is about. So now we have a new dragon, and if we go back to class, we can see what it would look like. If we put it back down, we are losing, how much is that? That is 40 hit points. We're losing about 50 MP. We're just, what I'm saying is Ancient Dragon gives you a lot of extra bonuses. 135 defense. Intelligence does go up a little bit. Strength goes up a little bit. Agility, tiny little bit, but no mobility. So, but you can see this huge graph here for strength and hit points compared to this one on the right. And you can see that Ancient Dragon, definitely the way you want to go. Really depends if you can even fit this thing, because half your army isn't going to really have that high of you know, magic cost, the ability to hold these kinds of things. So typically for an army, I put one in there and I fill it up with some other stuff. If you can fit two, that's great. But typically I can really just fit one and a bunch of other different kinds of support monsters and ranged monsters and other things too. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this video here. I know this took a while to get through, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you like the dragon class still, even with the changes, even without the flying dragons and all that, let me know in the comments down below. And also let me know what your favorite basic dragon is. Now, the Ancient Dragon here, there's an item to change it into it. You never have to change it into an Ancient Dragon if you don't want to. So if you want to keep your Dark Dragon, or your Holy Dragon, or your Frosty Dragon, or whatever, you can keep it that way. You don't have to give it this thing. Yes, you don't get the extra bump of all the stats, but you can put on equipment that can offset that. So if you really want to keep your colored elemental dragon however you want to keep it, that's totally your choice. But I'm just showing you what you can do in this game, and you know, what could happen. So okay, everybody, thanks for coming by. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Definitely, you know, maybe smash the like or something like that. That'd be nice. And I want to thank everybody that has subscribed so far. Please, everybody else that's new here, if you enjoy this kind of content, please come by for more. I will have more guides out pretty soon. And next up, we'll probably do, what will we do? I think next up we are doing the Snake class. So the Hydra class, I'll just call it the Hydra class. I think a lot of people recognize that a little more. But yeah, everybody, have a great day, and I'll see you next guide video. Take care.